everybody. My name is Amy Mackey, and I am one of the coaches with the PLANTSTRONG Coaching Program. And I'm here with you on Facebook on this fine Friday with fellow coach Karen Drexler. She's here to talk to you about the different path that you can take on your journey to do things just a little bit different than the standard American diet or even any diet plan that you might decide that you want to try. At PLANTSTRONG, we have an entire program that is all about helping you do things in a little bit different way that's bound to stick by implementing the tools and tricks that we have for you inside the Trailblazer Coaching Program. Hi, Karen. How are you today?
Hey, Amy, it's so good to be here, and I get to talk about one of my very favorite things in the whole world, the PLANTSTRONG Coaching Program. I love it.
We do too. You know, the cool thing about what we do at PLANTSTRONG is we help people wherever they are on their journey. Whether you are brand new to this lifestyle, you've been doing it for a little bit, you were vegetarian for years, but now you've buckled down to go a little bit more immersed into the whole food, plant-based lifestyle. We have so many different tools and options for you along the way to really make this lifestyle an easy choice that is sustainable for the long haul. And one of the things that we use to do that is our Trailblazer Coaching Program. Now, why is it called Trailblazers? Because we believe that we are blazing a different path. How many of you here that are here in watching this live, I'm guessing you've been on a diet plan before, but I'm also guessing you have been on more than one diet plan. So give it a thought for a second. How many different diets have you tried? You know, did you do the cabbage diet? Did you try the Atkins plan back in the day? Did you switch to keto? Have you tried paleo? Have you done the Whole30? Have you been on all these different plans? Give us a shout. Let us know how many of those diets you've given a shot and how you ended up here at PLANTSTRONG listening to this today might be because, well, those plans just didn't work for you. You didn't see the results that you wanted, or you just couldn't sustain it for the long haul because it was too challenging. There's so many different reasons why we can start a plan on a Monday. We get the list. This is all the foods that we need. We're going to go grocery shopping. We're going to buy all of the things that we need to maintain this diet. We give it a start. Everything's going smoothly. We've got food in the fridge. We're eating the things. We're doing the stuff. We're walking around the block. Everything's going well. And then you have that stressful day followed by that super busy day, followed by that everything goes wrong day. And by Friday, you're off the plan. You're back to your old habits, doing what you enjoy, eating all the food on the weekends. And we've seen that time and time again. But most of the reason why your old plan didn't work is probably because you tackled it the same way you always do. You get the list of food, you shop for the food, you buy the stuff. But if you're not changing your mindset about the way you approach food, if you are not setting into motion tools that are going to help you along the way, you're probably going to end up at the same destination right back where you started. That's the beautiful thing about the Trailblazer program, because we provide you with the tools to help you over the hardest hurdles, the stickiest situations, the what do I do if I'm the only one in my family who's actually eating this way? There's so many different nuances to everyone's story, and everyone's journey is a little bit different. But the tools that we implement as part of the Trailblazer coaching plan is actually tools that you can put into motion throughout your life in all different ways. So we're going to tackle some of those hurdles today and talk about some of those things. But first, I wanted to tell you about some success that people have found in this program. And we'll start with Karen's story. Karen, how did you come to the PLANTSTRONG lifestyle?
All right. Well, like Amy was mentioning, I tried all of the diets, all of the things, all of my life. I was trying to add up while she was asking that question. Probably, I don't know, 10 more, whatever the fad was for the year. And about 5 years ago, I started having some really serious health issues. And I realized, okay, I've got to do this. Nothing I've done has worked in the past. It hasn't stuck. I might get some quick results, but nothing that stuck. And so I decided, okay, I need to make a complete lifestyle change. And I talked to a friend that I knew who had had some success in weight loss and really kept it off for a while. And she had just heard about this new book that was out by Rip Esselstyn called The 7-Day Rescue Diet. And I heard about it. I ordered it immediately from Amazon and found out there was a Facebook group of people supporting this lifestyle. And so I joined that, dove in, became Amy's biggest pest as we started in the early years of the Facebook group. And after about a year, I had lost 85 pounds. I was doing great on the eating plan. And they said, oh, we're going to start this coaching program. And I thought, well, I don't know if I need that because I'm doing well. I've lost the weight that I wanted to lose, but well, I'm not working out like I want to. I keep starting and stopping that. And I just thought, oh, let me try it. I know, we all have things to learn all the time, right? We can't just stop learning. And so I joined the coaching program, and that is probably one of the best decisions of my life. It's just full of so many helpful tools, such a wonderful community, and the success, my personal success, but then it's just wonderful seeing the success of everybody else, seeing the changes. It's hard to really describe how wonderful the community is and what a sense of family that we have and how we care about each other and support each other. And I think you're going to get to hear about some of the tools that we use in the community. So I love them.
Well, and Karen, it's really been a joy for me to be part of your journey and watch how much you've evolved throughout the course of time from where you started to where you are now. And I know that fitness thing was really one of those things that you really had to change your mindset about to really own the fact that you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. And it's been just joyous watching you flourish in that arena, because when you started, you weren't doing anything like that, short of a little bit of walking. But now you consider yourself an athlete. You have gone hiking in the Faroe Islands and in Italy and in all kinds of other places, like here in Seattle with me. But ultimately, it's just been really neat to watch how you've been able to change your mindset and change your life because of it. And that's one of the tools that we actually talk about in the PLANTSTRONG Coaching Program. So when you get started with the plan, one of the things that we ask people to do is to set your why. If you think about why you do anything, right? You drink water because you're thirsty. You walk your dog because he needs to be walked. He has to go outside. You set in motion things in your life that matter to you, whether it's your career or your family, whether it is hobbies that you have, all of these different things that we set our mind to, right? And we say those things like it's just an easy thing. Oh, well, I set my mind to it, so I did it. Well, maybe. Or maybe there are tools that actually go along that help you build those things. But when we set our why, we're setting the foundation for why we do anything inside of the coaching program and outside of the coaching program. So if you wanted to play piano, for example, you would take lessons, you would practice. These are things that you would work on. You'd play your scales, you'd do all of these different things so that way you can get better at it. When we set out to change our diet, chances are we're looking at that food plan, we're buying the food, we're cooking the stuff, we're hoping we're going to eat it, but we haven't changed the way that we think about things. Part of the coursework in the coaching program is to really lay out all of these different tools for you so you can actually take that tool, work with it, and see how you can incorporate it into your life. So for example, on a day when I might be struggling and I really want to just go and order pizza somewhere, I think about, why am I doing this? Why am I choosing to embark on this Plant Strong journey? What is it about being Plant Strong that is helping me in my life? And how can I continue on this path being reinforced by my why? And choosing to live an adventurous life, I want to make sure that I have the strength and the health to maybe do more adventures in my older years. I really want to get out there and really get at life, and I want to enjoy those things. But in order to do that, I know I have to be my healthiest best. And so for me, that is one of the things that fuels me on my journey. And we help you determine your why and set those things inside the program. And once you get started with that, if you think of your why as the fuel that keeps you going on this journey, that can be the touchstone that everything comes back to. This is the reason why I'm doing this. This is why I am choosing this path that might be a little more challenging than just eating the standard American diet, at least from a mindset standpoint. Because one of the things that we learn in life when we're building habits, or like I used the example, if you want to play the piano, you have to practice, you have to do all of these different things. When it comes to food, we aren't really taught that food is work. And I don't mean in the preparation or shopping for it or cleaning up the mess when you're done in the kitchen. What I mean is that We think of food as celebration. We think of food as, something that fuels you when you're hungry, you grab something quick. We celebrate with food. We have memories that are wrapped around food. We have all kinds of emotions that are tied up in food. We have traditions and holidays that are wrapped around food. All these different things having to do with food that causes us to look at food in a different manner, but never in the manner that we might have to have a little bit of work, a little bit of mindset, and some tools to help us keep us on the plan that we want to be on. And that's really where the Trailblazer plan comes into play. When you are on a path of mindset that this is what I want to do, my why is what's going to fuel me, and I'm going to be part of this vibrant community that is really going to help support my endeavors. I can help support the community as well by sharing my own ideas about meals that I've made or hurdles that I've overcome or even things that I'm struggling with. Because what we have found more, I think, than anything is when you are surrounded by a community, you are uplifted in more ways than one. Whether somebody's best meal is your new favorite one because you've never tried it before and didn't really consider those combinations in a meal until somebody presented you with a photo, or whether somebody has already been through the hurdle that you're about to jump over and they have advice that can help you on that path. Especially for people who find that they are the only person in their community who eats this way, or if you have an entire family to feed. Like Karen has 3 children that she always have friends over and always have a house full of people. And she has figured out a way and to feed everyone and pretty much make everybody happy with the meal options that she's putting on her table, all through innovation and figuring out the things that really work. Those are the kinds of things that we share in our community. And I actually see we have several community members here with us today. I love seeing that because they are the best cheerleaders that you will ever have. Now, when it comes to the tools that we have in our program, it doesn't just end with finding your why. We actually have several others. Karen, do you have a favorite tool that you like in the Plant Strong Coaching Program?
Well, you kind of touched on one of my favorite tools when you were talking about my fitness and how I've increased my fitness through this program. And what I love the why, I love that that is such a foundation. And then the tool about finding your identity, I love finding that. And so to think that somebody like me could go from the excuse queen, there's a million and one reasons that I should never work out, to, okay, my new identity is I'm an athlete, I'm a hiker. Nobody who knew me 5 years ago would have thought that that was ever possible. I myself wouldn't have thought that it was possible. But through this coaching program, all of the tools that were given, all of the encouragement, that allowed me to chase that goal and embrace that identity. So that's one that I really, a big tool that I really love. And then we have a lot of smaller ones, a lot of kind of shorthand within our community that are so helpful just in day-to-day life. I love how we learn about starting our goals really small. So you don't have to start out and say, oh, I'm going to be a hiker. You can start out and say, hey, I'm going to walk to the end of my driveway every day or walk around my block. And you can celebrate that little habit that you're starting, celebrate those small goals. And then there's another tool that we use called If This Then, and I use that all of the time. It really helps a lot of the excuses. I used it just the other night. I was so hungry and I thought, well, if I'm going to, eat whatever I want to eat first, then I'm going to have a bag of frozen broccoli first. So I steamed some broccoli, and it's amazing. Just these tiny little tools that don't really sound like much can really just kind of stop the path in your brain that you're going down that you don't want to go down, and have you do that about turn. The ability to post in the community to say, hey, somebody saved me from myself, or hey, celebrate with me because I did this thing. It's incredible.
It really is. And our tool, If This Then, is, I think of it as a get out of jail free card. It's that thing that you can draw on in those really pinchy moments. When I say pinch, I mean, think about the pain points, right? You've had a really rough day. You were super busy. You're running late already. You're headed home. And your instinct is, I'm just going to pick up drive-through because that's easy. And then dinner's taken care of and I don't have to think about it. One of our if this thens is, instead of doing that, have an if this then ready, knowing I have Plant Strong pizza crust in the freezer. It's going to take me exactly 15 minutes to toss together and bake in the oven a Plant Strong pizza without hitting the drive-through. I know that I have that. It's ready to go, and it's one of my family's favorite things to have. So that would be an if this then example. And if this thens can be very personal. Those are the things that you really are drawing on in those moments where you're in the you're in the checkout lane at the grocery, and you're flanked by candy and chips and all the things. It's things that you do in those moments of stress and pain, that can just make staying plant strong really challenging, that can really make all of the difference. One of my favorite tools is no matter what. And we have habits that we do on a daily basis. And if you think about it, I bet you have a habit that you do every single day. Think about that for a second. If you have a habit that you do every day, no matter what, without even thinking about it, pop it in the chat. I'd love to see some examples of what you do every day already. But here's how we work that no matter what. We take something that we do every single day and we attach something to that, because we're going to build another habit. And one of the best ways to build another habit is to pair it with something you're already doing. And so if you are already in the mode of actually doing something on a daily basis, by attaching something very tiny to that, you can build a brand new habit to get started. These are the kinds of tools that we offer in the Plant Strong Coaching Program. And these are the kinds of tools that really make a difference in your everyday daily life. And you're saying to yourself, well, how does this apply to the food? Aren't I just supposed to be eating vegetables? Well, yes, but you will find as you go on the course of time, if you are trying to eat this way for the first time, you will find it's your brain that actually is going to be the biggest hurdle. It is actually going to be the thing that stops you up. Like Karen said about being an excuse queen. That's me all day. I can tell you more excuses for not doing this than I can tell you reasons to do it, because that's our brain trying to keep us in our comfort zone. We all know that change really comes in the uncomfortable places. Those are the places that we grow the most, when we can really overcome those hurdles. And that's how our tools actually really work to help prevent the issues with the food by changing your mindset first. When you are in our community, you are going to be supported by an amazing selection of people who have been doing this for a while. There are brand new people who have never done this before, people who have been doing it for years, people who are doing it from all different walks of life. Whether you are the only person in your family, or you've got little kids to feed, or your mom lives with you and you're taking care of her as well, we have so many different tools to help you figure out how to do this in your household, how to do it in a house divided when there are other people in your house who are eating meat and dairy, but you're not. And we also have other ways that you can really expand what you do in your life in your free time, and the way that you spend your free time, and the way that you see yourself as part of your identity. As Karen mentioned, she's now an athlete, and she would have never said that about herself before. So many of these tools can actually apply in so many different areas of your life that, until you really sit down and think about it, you don't even realize how many different areas can really be improved by just changing your mindset about something. And that seems really vague, but it really depends on what you want to apply it to. If you want to get better sleep or take better care of yourself, if you want to start a stretching program, or if you want to watch less television, read more books, anything like that is going to require a little bit of habit change, which is really benefited by changing your mindset and just the outlook that we have on things. If you think about the way that you thought about yourself, or other people have given you roles that maybe apply to you, maybe they don't. For example, I was always picked last for gym class, never a fan of gym class. I also was always dubbed the responsible one. If we need something done, we'll ask Amy, she'll get it done. We'll make sure that happens. All of these different identities that we get assigned throughout our life may or may not apply to us, but we might still carry the baggage of that particular tag. Now, I was picked last for gym class. That is absolutely true, but that doesn't have to follow me throughout my life. I can actually change my identity to somebody who's adventurous and goes for hikes or paddleboarding or out on a boat or on a bike ride. I can do all kinds of things if I am not in my own self-limiting belief that I am still picked last for gym class, because guess what? gym class doesn't apply to me anymore. I don't have to go and be picked for volleyball or any of those things. We can literally change the way that we see ourselves simply by stating the identity that we want to project to the world and the identity that we want to own as a person. All of these are things that we tackle inside the coaching program, inside our Plant Strong community. And we have weekly coaching calls on Tuesday nights. So we can do just this and touch base with the community at large, talk about the tools, talk about the hurdles that we're having and how to overcome them. And it's not just Karen and I, it's actually several coaches that we have and also some guest speakers that come into our program and help to share all about how we do this and the individual journeys that we've been on and how we can support each other in that endeavor. And that's one of my favorite things about the coaching program is that truly together we can do anything. And when we come together in that way, we can really help to support so many people in our group model because ultimately we're never alone in this. We are always here and the light is always on. And so I love that about the group, that it's private, that people can come in and post and share without it being out there in the world. And that there's almost always somebody who has either been through what you're going through or is there with you right now going through the same hurdles. So you're never alone in that endeavor. If you'd like to learn more about the coaching program, you can visit our website at plantstrong.com/coaching, and you can learn more about the program and get signed up there. One of the cool things about our coaching program is that you can do it at your own pace. You don't have to be live on our coaching calls on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do record them and you can watch them the next day once the recording is available for you. So you can do this in your own time. You can do it on your own pace. We have a rolling enrollment. And when you sign up for a year, it's generally $3.99, but we have this program on sale for you for $2.99. You get an entire year of coaching. That's 52 plus coaching calls that you get on Tuesday nights. Plus we do some fun ones from time to time on different nights of the week. We tackle all of the coursework that we have. We've got dozens of PDFs for you and video lectures for you to watch starring Rip and a few other special guests like Ann Esselstyn and Dr. Esselstyn are also part of that. You'll also find all kinds of kitchen hacks and all kinds of PDFs having to do with making things easier. We have a PDF that's called 70 Meals that gives you an idea of 70 different meals that you can actually make without even needing a recipe. If you want to join the coaching program or learn more about it, just click on that link when you go to plantstrong.com/coaching, and then you can read more about it there. You can always ask questions also. Whether you want to ask a question here, we'll take your questions live, or you can always ask inside the Plant Strong community or drop us a message at coaching@plantstrong.com. We're glad to talk to you about this anytime. And ultimately, one of the things that we really love to see is when people are sharing how they got here, the things that they used to get to where they wanted to be, their goal, tackling new sports, new adventures, and all of those things. It can be really inspiring to see those kinds of messages, especially when you came from a background of not doing things like that or having health issues. The Plant Strong community is a great jumping off point for all of those positive things to help people really get their footing and really make a difference by doing something a little bit different. Tackling things from a mindset perspective as opposed to just, this is my food list and this is what I'm doing, because that really will only get you so far. Until you change your mind about the way you want to live the rest of your life, you're really not going to make a really good inroad into setting up new habits unless you're changing the way that you think about all the things. And so I'm really glad you could join us today. And I really hope that the people who really want to take a step forward and do something a little bit different by changing your mind so you can change your life, will come and see us in the Plant Strong community and ask some questions about whether or not you really want to make that dent in the way that you do things and move forward in a positive fashion. So
and Amy, I just want to jump in and say, I love how you talked about this is for everybody. This is for the person who is the only one in their house, whether they're trying to get their whole family on board, whether, whatever the circumstance, single person. My background is that my husband's a pilot and I've had to make this work traveling. And so the motto that I carry is there's always a way to make this work. And I just want to encourage anybody who's sitting at home thinking, well, I can't do this because of XYZ. No, you can do it. And that's what our community is for. We are there for you. We're there to troubleshoot with you. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to bring something to us that we haven't tackled or that we can't figure out how to tackle.
Oh, absolutely. And, I think that's part of what makes our community so vibrant is that we do have so many people coming from different walks of life. What do you do if you travel all the time? What happens if you are the only person in your household, plus you have celiacs and you need to be gluten-free? What happens if you are in these situations, and how do you tackle those? That's the beauty of our community, in the way that so many different things can really come together to really make this a way of life that really sticks for you. Sometimes you have to tweak some things. Sometimes you have to clean out your pantry so that way you have your own cupboard with your foods in them, so you're not staring at the chips every day. There are so many different tools like that that can really help you, whether it's batch cooking or whether it is making 3 different things out of one recipe. There was an email that went out about making a Grand Slam pizza with the beet burgers. If you take the beet burger recipe and you make it into balls and to patties, you can actually then have a beet burger salad. You can have your Grand Slam pizza with the beet balls on there. So that way you've got that. And then you can also have a regular beet burger. All of these time-saving tricks and things of that nature are part of what we discuss in the coaching program as well. And, I think that there's really, truly something there for everyone. And so if you've been stuck, or if you keep going on plan but falling off plan, if you haven't really figured out a way to work this into your lifestyle, if you've got a very busy life, there are so many different things that we can help you apply to make those situations easier for you. And honestly, we're ready to meet you where you are. You don't have to be 100% plant strong to start this program. You don't have to know anything about it. We will help guide you along the way to make sure that you have everything you need on your plant strong journey. And then I saw a couple of questions about, does peanut butter have to be organic? Here's the thing about our program. We just want you to eat more plants. Whether you are adding on doing locally grown or non-GMO or organic or all of those things, that is entirely up to you. We want our plan to be as affordable and accessible as possible to everyone. So if you can afford to do organic, great. If you can't afford to do organic, we still want you to eat more plants. No two ways about it. Do what you feel comfortable with, do what you can. And if you can do that, that's wonderful. But it's not a requirement of our program. You don't have to be a marathoner. You don't have to have any sort of physical fitness to call yourself an athlete. You simply have to want to do more activity. That's how we get there. Setting the identities that we do, choosing the path that we're on, making the priorities of habit building, and how important is this to me? Is my why fueling me? All of these different things really go a long way to really get you on your plan and really enjoying the process, because this doesn't have to be painful. It can actually be really fun and really delicious. Oh, and I love to see.
Forward to seeing you guys in the community.
I know. And Anita, you have a great comment here about taking the time to dedicate yourself to this way of life is really a mindset. And it's really part of, if I'm going to do this thing, I really want to enjoy the process. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be painful. It can really be delicious and amazing. But sometimes you do have to just change a little shift in the way that you think about things. So please join us. The same question, Queen, organic across the line. It doesn't matter whether you choose organic or not. We just want you to eat more plants. If you want to do organic, that's absolutely great. The coaching program goes annually. There is no start or stop date as far as you can join anytime. It's a rolling enrollment. And we do not have private coaching. We think that doing things in the group fashion is actually the best way to do it, because you actually have that whole team support, not just from the coaches, but also the community that really helps to support you there. And I think that is all the questions that we have right now. But if you have more, like it says here in chat, we will continue to answer those questions. And if you post them here in Facebook or on YouTube or even in our community, we're glad to answer them for you. So keep those questions coming. And I want to wish you all a wonderful weekend. I want to thank Karen for joining me today to share the love about the Trailblazer coaching path. And hope you all have a wonderful Plant Strong weekend.